A little bit of rain isn't stopping these officers from chipping away at a black market, hiding in plain sight.
You drive around the city, you see these popping up like all over the place.
Sergeant Humberto Irigoyen is with the California Department of Cannabis Control. It's officers raiding this illegal dispensary in North Hollywood for the third time. He says stores like this aren't licensed. They don't pay taxes. They evade building and fire inspections, all posing a danger to the public. But the biggest issue,
You're buying these products, they're not tested, you don't know where they're coming from, you don't know what pesticides are being used.
officers haul away trash bags full of product, over 100 pounds of cannabis, worth almost $200,000. They also detained a worker and security guard. The store owners work in the shadows. Employees are often paid in cash and don't know the real name of who they're working for. Law enforcement will sometimes raid the same store multiple times because it simply keeps reopening, sometimes the same day or even the next day. In fact, we're here checking out the business that was raided yesterday, and sure enough, it's open. Police say repeated raids, turning off utilities, sending cease and desist notices are all tools to help squash these shops. But finding out who is behind them is especially challenging. And property owners are left with the consequences. Police say sometimes they know what's going on, other times they don't, like 71-year-old Andy Peng, who says he thought he was renting to a clothing store owner.
We believe him because he filled out the application form, and after the credit check, everything is fine.
But Peng alleges the tenant instead opened an unlicensed cannabis store and stopped paying rent. Peng says his property manager even saw this flyer handed out. Did you guys try to talk to him to say, like, hey, this is not what we agreed upon?
Yeah, we talked to him, asked him to move away immediately because he beat the lease.
The LA County Sheriff's Department raided the shop at the beginning of October, but it reopened the next day. Peng has already started eviction proceedings against the store operator, who appears to be linked to over 20 illegal cannabis shops that have opened in Southern California, according to public records, mostly doing a bait and switch, claiming to rent space for a clothing store, usually called Royalty, but instead operating an illegal dispensary. This one was stormed by armed gunmen and robbed in July, according to an eviction lawsuit. And this location, cited by the LA Fire Department for 23 fire code violations. We found a combination of multiple names, addresses, and phone numbers used on lease agreements that appeared to connect all the dispensaries. In at least 2 instances, the operator used other people's names shown on these fake IDs we got from 2 independent sources. One of the fake IDs was used to rent Peng's property. Most of the operators in these illegal shops stopped paying rent and have been evicted, but some are still going through the legal process, including Peng, who says it's frustrating and feels like he's being penalized for being duped.
The law in here is mostly protect the tenant more than protect the landlord.
We also found different companies in public records, including Redwood Group 12, Abner Group, and Crosshaven Investment, with overlapping business names, addresses, or officers that are also identified as store tenants in many of the illegal dispensaries, often represented by the same attorney. The recurring combinations of all this collective information show the same person may be behind these companies. We reached out to the store operator listed, whose true identity hasn't been found yet, and the companies we mentioned but didn't hear back. We also reached out to the attorney, Anthony Sears, who, according to court records, has defended them in over a dozen dispensary-related eviction cases and many locations shown in our map. He told us, no comment. Several lawyers for landlords who evicted cannabis shops linked to this tenant told us Sears and his client often draw out the legal process, a tactic that Scott Kuhn with the LA County Counsel's Office says is common for illegal dispensary operators who are skilled at hiding their identity.
They will do all types of games with LLCs and other corporations, and so finding out who owns them and how we can properly serve them with the court case and then get the court to have jurisdiction over them. That's one of the most challenging things.
In 2024, a Pew Research Center study found there are almost 1,500 cannabis retailers in LA County. A state report earlier this year shows just over 500 stores are licensed. His department investigates those dispensaries, and over the past 5 years, they've closed over 160 of them, including 50 so far this year. But he says landlords must do their part or they could face penalties.
They have an illegal business, cannabis or otherwise, on their property. It's their obligation to evict those violators.
A problem Sergeant Irigoyen says consumers can also help fight Last year, roughly 2/3 of cannabis consumed in the state came from unregulated sources.
Go with the guys that are paying taxes. And I mean, they're the ones that are actually going to put that money to California. These guys are not. These guys are just lining their pockets.
And doing it in plain sight.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage. And click the subscribe button here. You can also download our app and watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.